Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakayam Chakshu Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So today, on the most auspicious day of the appearance of our Srila Gurudev, first I'd like to offer my most respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my Diksha Guru, Nitya Leela Pavishnu Vishnu Parasta Tarasata Shishmat Srila Gaura Govinda Goswami Maharaj. Also, my most respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my Param Gurudevs, Nitya Leela Pavishnu Vishnu Parasta Tarasata Shishmat Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and Nitya Leela Pavishnu Vishnu Parasta Tarasata Shishmat Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. And especially today, as Sripad Padmanabh Maharaja said, I'd like to offer not my obeisances, but my body, my mind, my heart. I'd like to make an attempt to offer this unto the lotus feet of our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj. So Srila Gurudev, he's explained that one who's actually qualified, who is carrying that knowledge of Srila Vyasadeva, who's sitting on Vyasa-san, that he's also Vyas. And he's explained that that Srila Vyasadeva has expanded that knowledge, the original knowledge of the Vedas, Vishta Karan. Another meaning of the word Vyas, as I've heard from Srila Gurudev, is that it means diameter. That in a circle, you have a line coming from one end to the other end, touching the middle. Then that diameter, this is Vyas. That the meaning of this is that such representative of the Lord, who is also Vyas, that he is always keeping the divine couple, Sri Sri Radha and Krishna, in the center. And he is coming from that transcendental abode and coming into this material world and traveling throughout the world and explaining the glories of the transcendental world and also what is this material world. He's explaining all tattva, Maya tattva, Jiva tattva, Bhakti tattva. Also, he's realized in Bhav tattva and Prem tattva. That such person, he is really qualified to sit on the seat of Vyas. That he's traveling in this world out of mercy. It has already been explained that Krishna, he's an ocean of mercy, Karuna Sindhu. But seeing the suffering of the living entities of this material world, when that ocean, it manifests a form in this material world, then that mercy of Krishna manifests in the form of Sri Guru. Guru Krishna Rupahana Shastra Rapraman, Guru Rupe Krishna Kripa Koren Bhaktagan. That, what is the position of Guru? Guru Krishna Rupahana. That Guru, that he is none different, that he is the form, the manifestation of Krishna in this world. Guru Rupe Krishna Kripa. That when Krishna, he is manifesting his mercy in this world, then it manifests in the form of Sri Guru. And he's coming, and very, very mercifully, he is distributing profusely this mercy coming from the spiritual world. That it has been said that Srila Gurudev, that he is there serving Sri Sri Radha and Krishna in the transcendental world, in Goloka Vrindavan. I have no realization of this. But what small experience I have is how Srila Gurudev, he has picked me up from such a suffering situation, and how very, very mercifully he's feeding me with his divine love. I remember when I first came in contact with Srila Gurudev, that when I first came in contact, it was in February 96. At that time, my divine Diksha Guru, he had just left the planet, departed for Golok Vrindavan. And some of our God brothers, we went to Navadvip, Sri Navadvip Dham, and it was at the beginning of the Navadvip Parikrama, and Srila Gurudev was there with many of his sannyasi God brothers. And as we were sitting in the back of the room, and just coming and taking the darshan of Srila Gurudev, immediately my heart went to Srila Gurudev. I became automatically, spontaneously, totally attracted. I was completely bewildered. Because such spontaneous mood, this is not in my nature. I'm a very dry person. So I just kept it within. And my God brothers, when we walked away, they were saying, "Hey, Govinda, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?" And I was just keeping within. "No, I'm okay. No problem." And then after some time, then they started to say, "Oh, Govinda, he's going to jump camp. He's going to jump camp." I started being described as a prostitute. So then I went back to England, and there I resumed my duties as temple president. And then a few months later, then Srila Gurudev, he came on his first world tour. And he was in Amsterdam, and one of my God brothers, he arranged that Srila Gurudev would come to the temple. Raghunath Bhatta Prabhu. Actually, I owe him so much. At that time, I thought, "Oh, you're giving me big headache, big headache." So, all the devotees in our temple, when they heard that, "Oh, Srila Narayana Maharaja is coming to England," then all were running. "Yes, we must go and take darshan. We must go, we must go." Because they were all radical. They had one understanding, that under any condition, that where there's bona fide sadhu, then you have to break all barriers to go and get sadhu sangha. This was the mercy of the teachings of my Diksha Guru, Nitya Leela Pravishtam Vishnupad, Srila Gaur Govinda Swami. But I was temple president. I had responsibility. I could not go. I said, "Oh, what am I going to do?" I became so much anxiety that I had a fever. I developed a fever. And I was just laying there in the corridor, sick. And then the regional secretary rang me up and said, "Oh, Govinda, you're not inviting Narayana Maharaja to the temple, are you?" I said, "No, what made you think something like that?" I would never do a thing like that. Then I said, "But look, he's coming. We should go and we should see what he's all about. On behalf of ISKCON, we should go and really check this out. Make sure everything is above board, blah, blah, blah." He said, "Yes, you're right, we should go." So then, Srila Gurudev, the day before he was coming, then my regional secretary, he rang me. He said, "Govinda, I can't go." I said, "What?" "Oh, actually, when we made the arrangement, we're going to go. Immediately, spontaneously, my fever was gone. I started jumping. Yes, I'm going to get sadhu sangha. I'm going to get sadhu sangha." Of course, sadhu sangha is not so cheap. Not just seeing the external form of sadhu, but really surrendering to sadhu. But then, afterwards, he rang me one day before. He said, "Govinda, I can't go." I said, "Why?" He said, "My wife said I can't go. That if I go, I'll be pulled in by Narayana." He said, "But you go." I said, "On behalf of ISKCON." He said, "Yes, you go." So then I went, and I remember I was hearing Srila Gurudev speak in one very small room. Now, so many devotees are coming. But then, in Sridham, it was like a flop house. Just small place. few people crunched in. And I went, and then just hearing words from Srila Gurudev. Then when I went back to my Sankirtan van where I was staying, I was just crying and crying and crying. For the first time after so many months, then I started to feel some separation from my divine spiritual master, Srila Govinda Swami, by the mercy of Srila Gurudev. By his mercy. Just come in contact with him, then he imbued in me some mood of affection for my spiritual master. So, I won't go on because time is short.